Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies, breezy and warm, with an afternoon high around 85. Tonight, mainly clear skies, a light breeze, a low around 64. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return. It'll be breezy and warm with an afternoon high near 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 93.7 Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hi, I'm Sarai, your personal banker here at Midwest Bank. I'm proud to serve our community in English and in Espanol because everyone deserves a banker who understands them. This Hispanic Heritage Month, we're celebrating the traditions, values, and dreams that make our community strong. Whether you're opening your first account, planning for the future, or growing your business, estoy aquí para ayudarle a alcanzar sus metas. I'm here to help you reach your goals. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels & Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels & Joe. The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle.
This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown! 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program.
All right, welcome in at Don't Punt Hour. Harrison Arns on the ones and twos. As always, come take a weeknight, 6 p.m. all the way up till midnight. We got me, then we got tomorrow. We got a couple bowlers coming in here. Chris Raff as well. And, of course, DP and myself wrapping it up for 2 hours to close the night. Got you guys covered locally all the way through midnight. If you guys want to join in, 402-464-5685. You can put a face to the voice, Facebook, YouTube, X, Allo, Channel 961, or a face to the Allo VIP line graphic, as we do got DeMornay Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line where they appreciate quality service with a local heart. DeMornay Pierson-El, how's it going on a Wednesday night?
It's going real good, closer to game day, finally, glad that the bye week is almost behind us.
Yeah, finally. Because you kind of talked about that before, how tough it is going through the bye week when all you got is tape that you lost from. And you're going through that over and over and over and over again. We're not going to spend a ton of time on Husker football. We'll save a lot of that for tomorrow, but I'll get one question out of you for it. Over the bye week, how much did you exert yourself in the Bo Pelini era? Do you use any of that time just to try to recover, get healthy, or is it just guns a-blazing while you got the window?
No, I think it's a happy medium of both. The coaches do a good job of not to, overload stuff, body maintenance, not heavy lifts, but, good lifts that kind of, make your body still work. Outside of that, definitely multiple massages, and recovery options and everything like that. Being a receiver, making sure that my legs were up under me and everything like that, hamstrings and everything like that, were common. So just making sure that, I was doing my part, extra recovery stuff, extra cold stuff, dry needling and everything like that. So I definitely did my part on to make sure that, my body was exactly where I needed it to be for, the second quarter of the season.
Absolutely. And, the team's pretty healthy so far, honestly. There isn't a whole lot of injuries, so I think they probably got a pretty good run into it. And we'll just have to wait and see what they look like on Saturday. But like I said, we'll put a pin on the Husker football talk, as we definitely want to talk more on the just everything news. There's some pretty big news that came out earlier today, and it involves the Big Ten. The Big Ten's been sneaky, and they're operating. So Big Ten discussing a $2 billion private capital deal. And right now, the Big Ten is discussions with a private capital deal that would infuse at least $2 billion into the league and its schools, sources told ESPN on Wednesday. And the way I think this would work is it would be kind of a Big Ten deal where it would compromise all 18 schools. The money is still kind of being dispersed. Like schools like Ohio State, Michigan will likely demand more. But that's kind of what people are trying to figure out right now. Good morning, Pierson-El. Do you like the idea of the Big Ten working a private deal out worth $2 billion? And I think the idea of this is to essentially kind of pool the money together in the Big Ten, and you would kind of slice that up somewhat equally with schools like Ohio State and Michigan getting bigger of the bulk.
How I don't understand, because if a conference is doing it, you can't play favorites. So regardless of if those schools are asking for more and everything like that, that will be biased for them, to turn that for them to kind of go into that. If you're dividing up $2 billion among how many other teams and everything like that, everybody should get more equal. Everybody should get the equal amount of slices, and that probably will help with, securing recruits coming, to the school and everything like that. So, I mean, this is the first I'm hearing about it. I would need more information. I don't quite understand exactly, I guess, why this venture capital is kind of happening. Like, is this kind of a thing to get away from the NCAA type thing, to where I know we talked about, the SEC and the Big Ten kind of starting their own thing. I don't know if that's kind of like that type of situation, or is this just kind of bringing in more cash flows for schools to operate with for recruiting. So I would just need a little bit more insight to, I guess, what this whole thing is about.
Beating the SEC. I think that's all it is. I think they're just trying to figure out everything they can do to put themselves above the SEC, and especially now in the era where the financial part seems to matter a lot more than it used to. We'll get some more quotes, because this is, again, I think it's probably a little bit tough for people to understand what the hell is even happening here with this private capital deal. So we got the Big Ten commissioner. We got some quotes from him as well. He says, the league believes its ability to generate revenue holistically has been undeserved, and it would be sharing a small percentage of greater profits with the outside investor. It also helps the league potentially better scale and leverage its 18 members. You do got, I think Troy Dannon spoke on it as well, or they give Nebraska as an example. They do say, as a micro example of that, Nebraska Athletic Director Troy Dannon, quoted in the AP article last week in a looming discussion, says, quote, "If you jump in now, I'm going to be a little bit if you jump in now and I'm going to get a little bit of money because of the jersey patches, I would really like to see if there's an opportunity for our conference to put all those jersey patch right together, and all of a sudden they're worth a whole lot more to the institutions when 18 are playing instead of just one." So Dannon's whole thing is, if you can split this across all 18 teams, essentially kind of putting that 18 Big Ten team as a package with this private capital deal. I'm trying to figure out what the end game is, but the end game to me just seems like more money. You put 18 teams as a big package deal together, And then how you split up that $2 billion is where the question is going to be, because Ohio State and Michigan are going to be fighting tooth and nail to that 1%. Who gets that 1% more?
Is it where, like, I guess their alumni from those schools kind of have been pushing this? Like I'm still kind of.
No, it's not. It's just I don't even know if we have a name on the, let's see, private capital deal. It's just been sorted to ESPN that the capital deal. Go ahead.
Regardless of how much ever comes in and everything like that, the Big Ten Conference cannot, you know, I mean, they're going to play favorites, but they can play favorites in other ways. You know what I mean? But as far as money distributive and everything like that is coming into the conference, like, I don't think you will be able to definitively give other schools more if y'all all a conference. Like, that's like, you know, that's like if Nebraska was to come into, you know, a bunch of money and everything like that, and they only allocated certain amount of stuff to a group of people instead of, you know, holistically and everything like that, meaning like certain athletes couldn't eat at the training table, you know, but yet you're an athlete on scholarship. You know what I mean? Like, if it's a benefit that is given to the whole Big Ten and everything like that, I think that would have to, regardless of what they're trying to do or could do, as a Big Ten, you better necessarily make sure it's split it up evenly, because that's going to be a problem.
Well, it does feel like it will probably fall through. So we'll just wrap it up with the last few paragraphs of the article here. The financial details are still being discussed, as we kind of said, but the universities with bigger brands are expected to receive more. So as it is right now, apparently they are expecting the bigger brands to receive more money. And then they do have a final quote here. Our membership has clearly expressed a need to modernize the operations and structure of our conference to ensure that the Big Ten remains best positioned to offer the highest level of athletic and academic excellence in a rapidly evolving landscape. Big Ten commissioner again. And then he finishes with, over a year ago, we initiated a comprehensive evaluation of our practices to identify partnerships that could secure the financial stability of our member institutions and allow us not only to protect but expand opportunities for our student athletes. This is an ongoing process, and we remain committed to finding a path that strengthens the conference for the future. So money. I think a lot of this is obviously a result of NIL. And everyone's kind of in a race right now, pumping in tons of money into their programs. You got $300 million to Kansas that Booth donates alone. Not everyone's going to have that. But I feel like this is kind of a move to make sure they can continue to operate. And again, just take advantage of the SEC, or not take advantage, but get over the hump and finally beat out the SEC. And they're doing so just through financial means. And if they put the Big Ten together as a package and secure $2 billion, or if they leverage it out where schools like Michigan, Ohio State get a little bit more of the chunk, but it just feels like they're pumping a bunch of money into it, trying to make sure they have everything they need to not only maintain, but grow past what the SEC is with the finances they have available to them. If that makes any sense. I know it's a lot to swallow.
That's one of the things that we're going to have to wait and see with more information, because, like I said, I get the whole having more money and everything like that, but I'm still kind of scratching my head about the whole situation. So I'm not going to speak too much on it, because I don't know all that much. But like I said, if a conference can't play. If this was the NFL, the NFC East can't show favoritism because the Cowboys are the Cowboys. You know what I mean? Regardless of how much money Jerry brings in or whatever. So good luck with whatever how negotiation goes. But I'd be interested to see, you know, what kind of sticks to the wall.
Yeah, and we'll see. Because again, now you got another partner in there. I was listening to Austin and Jay Foreman talk about this. I don't think this is the way they'll go, but it does kind of put it out there. Like, could the Big Ten start kicking out teams that are undeserving Will we ever go down a road where the Big Ten, like say you have Rutgers or even Nebraska when
I don't think so, because teams have signed a contract. So I mean, unless you willing to pay those buyouts for us, I mean, you're going to pay 5 universities or 3 universities that buyout. That's a lot of wasted money that could be allocated to something else. So I don't necessarily think with that. Now, once it comes up to contract negotiations or contract re-upping and everything like that, they could possibly not renew and bring another university in and everything like that. But I don't think it'll get to a point to where they're kicking people out just because you're not the standard of X, Y, and Z. You have 18 teams. They're pinned against each other. You're going to have some that win more. You're going to have some that lose more. So regardless of outside just sports, I mean, Northwestern has a pretty good broadcasting and law department. So I mean, there are things that other universities have and everything like that. So I don't think you can base it just solely off of athletics, just because of every universities have different things that they could possibly bring to the table and everything like that. So I doubt that they get to that, especially with universities signing 10-year contracts.
Yeah,
and TV deals and everything like that. There's a lot of buyout that has to go into that probably once you start peeling off layers, it's like, okay, well, that's too much to go down that road. Now do that 3 or 4 times. Okay, that's a lot of money that's going out instead of kind of keeping it in house. So I doubt that happens.
All right, I'm on the same boat with you on that one. Yeah, I don't think the juice is worth the squeeze. Like those buyouts are going to be brutal, and then we'll throw in. Missouri wouldn't do it. We'll just use Missouri anyways, SEC. But say you somehow want to swap out Rutgers for Missouri, like even then, the amount of buyout you're going to have to spend on Rutgers, and then if Missouri doesn't pan out in the way that you're thinking, like you just end up losing a ton of money. Now, maybe you get the Missouri fandom and all that, but at the end of the day, the grass isn't always greener, and we saw it with Indiana. You just don't know when the time is for a lot of, that's the beauty of sports, is you don't know the timing of a lot of it. So I don't think it will go that far, but it is interesting to kind of see him go down this road.
And what happens if the SEC doesn't want to release a team?
That's what I'm saying. It was a bad example. The SEC would not.
Say, okay, if it is Mizzou and everything, okay, Mizzou might want to, but there could be penalties that would have to be paid to the SEC for that. So not only are you paying Rutgers their cutout, you're paying an SEC fine for them on the stuff that they would be losing for a team or a Big 12 team and everything like that. So there's penalties, I think, necessarily on both sides, and it's not just going to be, I think we would like y'all like us, let's make this happen. There's a lot of money in a lot of places that that go on behind closed doors. Like I said, with TV deals, you got schools that have this is just me hypothetically thinking and everything like that. Certain schools could have money in regions to where they have certain brands. They're brand different deals and everything like that. I don't know if there's like anything to where certain, like the NCAA regulates how many teams are Adidas, how many teams are Jordan. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of things that those brands could have with that certain conference. And okay, well, we got these schools are Nike schools, these schools are Adidas schools, these schools are Under Armour, whatever. And if that school goes, like, you have that to pay and everything. So there's a lot of things that will kind of come to light that you might have to account to pay out, and I don't think it's definitely worth doing it.
Yeah, and a better example I should have used would be like a school like Louisville, but even then, everything you said still applies. Louisville's going to have its own hurdles. The other part about this, if you do this private deal, you're also hearing the idea of, like, does that mean the Big Ten is all sponsored by Nike or Adidas or Under Armour? Do you like going down that road where the Big Ten just becomes more formalized and less individualized at the university level, where the Big Ten is kind of in charge of making a lot of the brand deals? Is that a better college football world?
I don't think so. I don't. the fact of, with playing players and everything like that, like that has changed college football, which I do think they should get paid and everything like that. But like the foundation of what stuff is and what college football was is not anymore. So I think they have to kind of really look in themselves and find exactly kind of what are the pillars, what is the foundation to be, and kind of build off of that. There's a lot of changing going in, and there's a lot of things that I think that a lot of people are trying to throw at the wall to make things better, that maybe not just the best thing right now. So that's one of those things. I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. I'm too old school I don't like the idea of that at all. Maybe it takes some off the plate of like the current ADs, but yeah, conglomerizing everything it kind of ruins what college football is, the uniqueness of every team. And if you go down this road, maybe you secure your future a little bit better, but you do lose a little bit of what the old school football used to be. And that's where I always get stuck with all these deals that are happening, because again, I may be just being too much of a romantic of what football used to be, but if you're the Big Ten commissioner, you're looking at this and you're like, well, this is a good opportunity to secure not only us, for the new future, but for long-term as well, if this model works. And then if we really start kind of leaning into it more and going for the full Big Ten, just kind of joining together and all those 18 teams being sponsored by the same, apparel brand, it makes life easier. But again, my old school self just doesn't necessarily like that idea of a new college football future. So we'll see where this goes. To your point, this is still getting mulled around. I know Ohio State, Michigan, they seem like they're all in on it, but they're still trying to crunch numbers by the way it sounds. So we'll have to wait and see how this one plays out. For the fun of it, DeMornay Pierson-El, if you could kick out a Big Ten team and add one, who would you kick and who would you add?
That's wrong.
I know it is.
That is so wrong.
That's why I'm asking you first.
Who would I kick out? Wow.
I kind of like Northwestern, even though I know a lot of people shout them out, but there's something about Northwestern that feels like they are a staple to the Big Ten in a very unique way. And that law school money's nice. That alumni is nice. We got a bunch of lawyers. It's all right.
That's a tough one. I'm
kicking out UCLA. I'm sorry.
I guess that's fair.
Like any of those West Coast schools, like why?
Yeah,
why are you guys coming all the way out
I don't like SC. I don't like Oregon. I don't like Washington. I don't like any of those. So I mean, as a whole, if they could, go and it could be what exactly the Big Ten was designed to be, Midwest kind of schools and everything like that, that's fine. Adding Kansas or Kansas State wouldn't be bad. Adding Missouri, I don't think would be bad. Even Colorado getting added to the Big Ten, I think would do good. Just not those West Coast schools. Mm-mm.
No,
but I don't like it.
It's too much. It's ridiculous. Because we always talk about in football, you got one game a week in football, but then there's some of the, like I was looking at some of these volleyball schedules, and it's like you got some of these schools like UCLA, and we got to go out to Maryland. We'll play a game there, and then in the middle, at the weekend, we got to go all the way up to Oregon, and then after Oregon, we get to come home for one match, and then we're all the way back out to Michigan. You're just flying all over the country.
That's
all
a lot
the
of
time.
travel.
It's ridiculous.
That's a lot of travel.
They are students, and that's the part that always kind of drives me nuts a little bit. Is like maybe it's the football players getting paid good at NIL money to where it makes it worthwhile, even though school still is important, but you only have one game a week and you are getting paid handsomely depending on what university. But, and this is no slight, but say you're the rifle team and you got to go fly out to all those locations. The rifle team is going to be digging deep in their pockets to figure out ways to get all over the country and then have to answer to their AD, looking at the net loss that they took in, but not by really their fault of their own, just of how crazy the conference has gotten. So when the niche sports always kind of get lost in the mix, and that's the part that people always forget about, I feel like, when they talk about NIL, because football is one game a week and it's a very short season. Just about every other sport, there's a lot more traveling involved. So yeah, I'm with you. And if I had to kick out a team, like I said, pick a West Coast school, name one, And then, yeah, give me Missouri or Colorado. I do like Colorado a lot because they do feel like they fit perfectly and they could be that furthest west team. And that's kind of the wall between what the old Pac-12 was and I think what the current Big Ten should be. But if not Colorado, give me Missouri. Anybody else, if we take Kansas, I want Kansas State too. So if I can't take both, I'm taking Missouri or Colorado. Oklahoma can stay in the SEC. You got any honorable mentions before we go to break?
Yeah, I agree with that. I like Mizzou. I think Mizzou would definitely be a good team, but I think Mizzou's kind of I think Mizzou wouldn't leave just because I feel like they're starting to become a staple in their SEC. Like they win a lot, but definitely the whole Kansas. If you can't get both, then yeah, I feel that that would be all. I think that would get added. Honestly, Maryland, that's about as I guess Southern as you'll get. if that's fair to say.
Yeah, I Maryland and Rutgers, I would kick them out, but I just feel bad. It's you guys belong. You're grandfathered in, as you'd say, but no, those guys are stay. But just real quick on Missouri, since you brought them up, they are. If you wanted to pick a team, Missouri's red hot right now. Did you know, the morning Pierson-El, that they kick off the season with 6 straight home games?
Yeah, we were talking about this the other day.
Yeah,
which is crazy.
Yeah, so they got Alabama at home. This finishes off the homestand. Do you think they win? We'll probably revisit it tomorrow, but just before we get
no. I think Alabama goes in there and gets it done.
That's going to be a really good game to watch because Alabama feels like a turn in the corner. Obviously, you beat Georgia on the road. You break the longest home game winning streak that was currently active in college football. But then you got Missouri, who just, they are chilling on the couch at home. They just haven't had a lot of stress so far. And they've been really good. I mean, they beat South Carolina and they beat Kansas pretty convincingly. This will be the first real test, though. And unfortunately, I do think the Crimson Tide get it done. If you can beat Georgia in Georgia, you can probably beat Missouri in Missouri. But that being said, we do got to go to break here. Don't go anywhere, though. We still got 2 more segments on the other side. Don't punt hour with the morning Pierson-El.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
I can't believe I just scratched that card. Find my insurance card.
Dude, what do you have in this glove box? Ew, are these socks dirty?
Oh, forget about the socks. I need my insurance card.
Just pull it up on the State Farm mobile app.
But I can do that? Oh, hey, I can do that.
Yep, it's called service.
I can file a claim on here too?
Yeah, it's called service.
Whoa, I can call my agent too?
It's called service.
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krikak, today at 402-474-1173.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC. This month kicks off Koppel's 50th anniversary sale. We're celebrating 50 years by offering an additional $500 discount to the next 100 customers that buy a new vehicle. This is in addition to the huge savings already in place. You can take an extra $500 off our discounted price, or we can cut you a check on the spot. Celebrate with savings and see why customers have trusted Koppel since 1975. It's our way of saying thank you for all these years.
Austin Norman here. Join me and Jay Foreman for Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O this Friday for their Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. We'll be out there for the show starting at 3. You're invited to join us from 4 to 6 p.m. this Friday for Cornhusker Bank's Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party, only at Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and O.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
Select Plumbing and Utility has been serving Lincoln and the surrounding area for 14 years, and they're not slowing down. Select Plumbing and Utility handles all your plumbing needs from faucets and water heaters to full renovations, and they can even help with your heating and cooling needs. They're also Lincoln's underground experts, repairing and replacing broken underground water and sewer lines since day one. Contact Select Plumbing and Utility today at 402-560-6197, assuring excellence in every situation, opportunity, and challenge. That's 402-560-6197.
We interrupt this commercial break for an important story.
There once was a man from Nebraska who went searching for food in Alaska. When his stomach was rumbling while laying in bed, he could think of only one option, Führer's cheese spread. So he left it once and drove day and night to return back home for cheese spread delight. Now his stomach is full and the voice in his head tells him no more vacations without Führer's cheese spread. Find yours today at most local grocers.
When your home fills up with family, Aloe Fiber makes sure that space is a happy place for everyone. Aloe Fiber experts install it all, and full service means step-by-step support, guiding you through everything so you can stay connected to what matters, and the family can always feel at home. Put the game on, and don't worry about your Wi-Fi calling a timeout. Better TV and internet service is one connection away. Call Aloe at 866-481-2556 or visit aloefiber.com.
Electrical Enterprises in Roca reminds you the men and women of our military dedicate themselves to serve our country. Their commitment and courage keeps our country safe and strong. Let us honor those who have lost their lives in the line of duty and salute those who have served today. This from Electrical Enterprises in Roca. For all of your residential and commercial electrical construction needs, call 402-438-5822. We live in the land of the free, thanks to the brave.
Attention all Wings fans, Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O or in Williamsburg Village.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
All right, welcome back into Ticket Weeknights. You guys are always welcome to join in. 402-464-5685. We do got DeMornay Pierson-El on the Aloe VIP line where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. DeMornay, before we get to what I have planned for segment number 2, real quickly, me and Raph were talking about it yesterday. Dylan Rails' stats right now, they're nice. Some might say that they're Heisman caliber. Can Nebraska do enough for him to actually be in that race, or is that just way too early and people are overly excited?
I think it's just way too early. I mean, Nebraska fans, they're excited. They're extra at times. Warranted. I mean, that is 4 games in and everything like that. Yes, it looks nice and whatnot. But I mean, let's keep the main thing. If that comes with stuff and everything like that, that's extra. But one thing at a time. And if that is, that'll get handled.
Fair enough. Yeah, me and Raph talking about it. I was like, if we can win games, we can start having the conversation. It's hard to have a Heisman when you're taking L's versus ranked opponents. So that definitely comes first, but just something to keep an eye on. I mean, Dylan Rails' numbers are really good, so we'll hope for that to continue. And if you get wins alongside of it, all of a sudden the conversation becomes real. But right now, you are right. Too far out. Let's win some big games. And then the conversation becomes even more real. Good morning, Pierson-El. Do you know what officially starts tomorrow?
No.
Some might say the most exciting time in sports.
No.
NBA preseason, baby. Starts tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Don't worry. We're not gonna preview preseason games. We're just gonna talk big picture here, though. But the preseason does start tomorrow officially. Your games are, to kick it off, you get one preseason game, 11 a.m. tomorrow. 76ers and Knicks. Why is that 11 a.m.? My Lord. They have all just morning games. Knicks and 76ers, they're the only morning games I'm seeing on the slate. But otherwise, on Friday, you get into the official real slate there, where you got a 9 p.m. game, and then Saturday kicks off more, and you got a bunch of games Saturday. You got about 4 Saturday as well. Do you watch NBA preseason at all?
No.
I'm not gonna judge you for it. There's not a ton of people that do. I like to see the rookies, and that's kind of about it. And when they're subbing out of games, I don't really care a whole lot more. I'm just looking to see the new guys and what they look like, or if there's a big trade. Nothing I'm super keen on. I will be watching the Pelicans. I don't know what kind of run Zion will get, but I
want to see skinny Zion. Ozempic Zion. That's what I want to see.
Ozempic Zion. Yeah, I don't know what he did, man, but he said it was boxing training and all that stuff. Are you expecting like an actual revival of Zion Williamson's career this upcoming season? Now that, go look at the pictures. He's lost weight, for anybody wondering if we're overhyping it.
He looks like he got taller as well. Hopefully, I mean, it's a blast from the past. He looks like how he did in high school. He looks like how he did at Duke, athletic-wise and everything like that. Hopefully, he's exciting. Because, I mean, I think that would be definitely good for the NBA brand if he's playing and bringing in that type of crowd and that electricity and what, he was supposed – not to say that he wasn't doing, but him actually bringing the full hype train and actually being that consistently.
Yeah, it sucks that it took this long, I will say, because he's been so injury prone, and a lot of it people are saying was the weight. But luckily now it looks like that's under control. I just wonder how much more athletic is he going to be coming off the ground. I mean, that guy's vertical was scary enough when he was clearly at a weight that wasn't desirable. I don't know if I want to say overweight, because in the NBA there's no real weight limit. It's your strengths. But for Zion's case, just the amount of weight that he's lost, that dude's going to be, in my mind, flying out of the gym, and the Pelicans need it. I mean, that's got to be one of the most sorry teams out there, a franchise that hasn't really had anything to celebrate. You get Zion Williamson. He plays in that first game. They're wearing the all reds. I think he hit like 5 or 4 threes. He didn't even play his game, but it was awesome. And you have Ingram, Lonzo Ball. It seemed like things were happening, and then obviously we know where we're at now. It completely fell apart. The team's still not great, and even if Zion Williamson has a great year, I don't know what kind of shape the Pelicans will be, because the West is such a loaded up conference to compete in. But at least they can have something to be happy about. I kind of compare it to like my Bulls when they got DeMar DeRozan. Were we gonna go win the title with DeMar and Zach LaVine? Probably not. But at least I could go watch a team that was worth watching. And I think that for the city of New Orleans is huge, because that team has been a dumpster fire really ever since that AD trade, and it kind of came together for a season and then it just fell apart quickly after. We do got Jordan P saying DeJounte is coming back healthy. That's another one to look for. That'll be big. And there's some other big trades I'm trying to think of off the top of my head that happened this offseason. We'll dive more into those as some teams with some different looks here. But we'll look at the standings of last year. Last year, the Los Angeles Lakers were actually pretty solid. They finished 3rd in the Western Conference with a 50-32 overall record. However, it's been kind of a weird offseason for the Lakers. People are actually floating the idea of, do we move on from LeBron James here? Is this kind of the last hoorah from LeBron James, or do you think he's got some more careers left under the belt after this season?
I mean, his numbers aren't saying he's slowing down. I mean, he's still averaging 25 plus points game. So, I mean, it's really up to LeBron. I mean, he's still a force to be reckoned with regardless of wherever he goes. He may not be going straight to the finals 11 times straight, but, I mean, he's still an asset. So I don't think he's done. I know he said a couple more years and everything like that. So, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if we see him, for 5 years, but I also wouldn't be shocked if we see him for the next 3 years.
Yeah, and this is where I couldn't understand the Lakers fans, some of them, wanting to move on from him so bad.
It's like, what do you have? Luka's there, so I understand that, to where it's like, oh, you can transform it and do that, but I don't think that's necessarily the best thing.
Do you know who is the leading point scorer for the Lakers last year?
LeBron James.
LeBron James, 24.4 points. Do you know who the leading rebounder was for the Lakers last year? LeBron James, 7.8 rebounds game. Do you know who the leading assist leader was on the team last year? LeBron James with 8.2 assists. Washed, get him out. He lights your team in every major category. I get if you don't like LeBron James, if you want to go with that angle, but if you think getting rid of him is going to make you a better team, I digress. That's where I might defer. I like Luka Doncic a lot, and you can have your clips where you point out, but LeBron on defense wasn't there. He might have not been there. He might have been arguing with the ref, but he still gave you 25, 7, and 8 every single night. So if you took a play off there, no, it's never a great look, and I don't like any player doing it, but sometimes you kind of got to just look at the numbers and ask yourself, what are we doing here? So I think LeBron James, he might go for 2 more seasons. I don't think this is the last one yet either. Because to your point, unless he gets seriously injured, he's still kind of putting up the same numbers he does every single season. And it's, he's starting to get a little bit older, and you're seeing it in his game. He's taking more 3-point shots. When they're not hitting, he gets absolutely hammered by social media. But his 3-point shooting numbers actually aren't all that bad. It's not like he's ice cold. And when he's hot, you have those games where LeBron James hits 4 in a row from the logo. So
I think they definitely, again, I definitely think he gets a lot of unnecessary hate. But with Luka and everything like that, LeBron James doesn't necessarily have to be the LeBron James as he was with Cleveland, the LeBron James that he was with Miami. You got younger guys on the team that can easily get him his shots. Like, of course, he's going to have to touch the ball. Of course, he's going to have to get his shot. But you don't necessarily have to run the whole offense to that. He can make splashes here and there, and then, when it's time for him to get his, he can get his. But I don't think just because of, him being him, it's time to move on. I don't think that would be best. And I guarantee you, if the Lakers are actually thinking that, some of these championship teams would love to have LeBron. Best believe that.
Yeah, there's a lot of teams that would love to have him. You're paying a crazy number, but your team's also making a ridiculous amount of money just for having him on the roster, and he is one of the most consistent players you'll get. People freak out about LeBron James' contracts. It's like, oh, you could pay, somebody like Zion all that money and get him for 20 games. LeBron's there every game. So that's where I always fall on it. Just take all the emotional stuff on the side. Look at the numbers. Look at the consistency. Look at the injury history. It's almost always a pretty good deal because he's going to play in just about every game unless it's a load management game. And you could have your own opinions on that. But yeah, to my point, I think the Lakers will still be pretty good because LeBron James is still on that team. They got third. I don't know if they'll get third again. We do got a texter in here, Jordan P. I don't know if he's a Rockets fan, but he's got a good point as well. The West is just devastating if you're wanting to make the playoffs. The Warriors, who you never want to say they're not going to make it because they always have those years with Steph Curry. But then the Timberwolves, Clippers might be on their last legs due to age. Nuggets, Lakers, Rockets, Thunder. The Rockets last year, 52-30 to finish the year. And to Jordan P's point, Rockets are going to be nasty. They did lose Fred VanVleet, but Sengun, Capella, Steven Adams for your bigs. You got KD, Jabari Smith, Cam Whitmore, Amon Thompson as well, another really great defender, good 3-point shooter. Dory Finney-Smith.
I think they're going to be a team to watch out for. I think they're going to be a mess. And man, they were already really, really good last year. Again, with KD down there, he's probably one of the better superstars that plays, both ways well. With that coach down there, and again that young squad, KD can keep up, and you can plug him in, and he can take over. So I think they're definitely a strong team to watch out for in the West.
Yeah, and we've talked about it before, but we both are big fans of Udoka. He was good when he was with the Celtics, and he is still damn good with the Rockets. And you just put Kevin Durant on that team. Yikes. I know you like Fred VanVleet. That's a big guy to lose because he was really big for that team. But, I mean, we just listed, shout out to Jordan P., went through some of that roster there. And then when you got Capella coming off the bench or Adams coming off the bench, and you can just replace a Capella with a Steven Adams or an Adams with a Capella, your rim's going to be pretty damn secure. You're going to have a great rim defender regardless of who's in there at the 5. And you got some great wing defenders. They might be one of the best defenses in the league next year. And you also have the assassin that is Kevin Durant. That is not a team I would ever want to face. So Rockets might be not back because they were kind of back last year, but they might really put their stamp on it. Is that team good enough to take down OKC, the reigning champs?
I think so. I think they're definitely going to give them a run for their money. That's for sure.
I think so too. I think that's on paper the best team.
They're a grit. I think no. Okay, see, the Rockets are a gritty team. Like they have a I don't care type of we're gonna take your lunch money type of team. They're not really soft. They don't really complain and everything like that. Everybody gets after it, and I think that's the one thing. If not that OKC is afraid of that, like that they kind of do that a little bit. But it's going to be interesting to see how those two teams clash because, I mean, they're scorers on both sides. They have transition, players on both sides. They have high energy players on both sides. I think that's going to be something definitely to keep an eye out on.
Yeah, they're going to be really good. If it's good enough to beat the Thunder, we'll have to wait and see. But I think defensively, they're good enough to take on anybody. And again, with that head coach, I think one of the best coaches in the league right now. Coaches in the regular season, I don't know how much of an impact they make, but in the playoffs, that 5% they give is usually pretty big deal. Ask Doc Rivers on Game 7s. What did that 5% look like? Not great. A lot of tough losses in there, and they're not all on his fault, but you get a guy like Udoka, that's a guy you trust in the playoffs more often than not, at least what he's shown so far in his career. Because even in that first round with the Rockets, young team, you were kind of waiting for them to get their lumps and figure it out, and they still looked really, really good. And again, Kevin Durant on that team, if he stays healthy, you got one of the most efficient shooters that the NBA has ever seen. That's a dangerous team. We'll go to break. We'll talk about some other contenders on the East side. And then since we got through the West, we didn't even talk about the Nuggets. We didn't really talk a lot about the Timberwolves. There's just not enough time for it. You can pick a team in the West, and chances are they're good enough to be a playoff team. All right, we'll go to break. Don't go anywhere. This is the Don't Punt Hour. We got the morning Pierson-El on the Ella VIP line. We'll talk to you in a little bit.
Hi, I'm Sarai, your personal banker here at Midwest Bank. I'm proud to serve our community in English and in Espanol because everyone deserves a banker who understands them. This Hispanic Heritage Month, we're celebrating the traditions, values, and dreams that make our community strong. Whether you're opening your first account, planning for the future, or growing your business, estoy aquí para ayudarle a alcanzar sus metas. I'm here to help you reach your goals. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Member FDIC.
Shopping for new flooring is different today. Getting your questions answered, making the right selection, getting the best value, and installed quickly and professionally. Visit OakStreetCarpet.com or shop our store. We'll answer all your questions and help you make the right choice. You'll be enjoying your new floor in just days for less than you'd pay elsewhere. Carpet, vinyl, wood, laminate, tile, and area rugs. We've got it all.
Oak Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Tired of asking what's for dinner? Nourished for Life has got you covered. At Nourished, they're a local meal prep company that delivers fresh, chef-crafted, healthy meals straight to your door. Made from wholesome ingredients and ready when you are. No shopping, no chopping. Just heat, eat, and enjoy every night of the week. Fuel your busy days with balanced meals that are designed to keep you satisfied and energized. Visit nourishedforlife.co to purchase meals and taste the convenience of home-cooked comfort without the hassle. Austin Norman here. Join me and Jay Foreman for Old School, live from Cornhusker Bank at 83rd and O this Friday for their Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party. Larry the Cable Guy will join us during the show, and there's free food and refreshments. We'll be out there for the show starting at 3. You're invited to join us from 4 to 6 p.m. this Friday for Cornhusker Bank's Customer Appreciation Tailgate Party, only at Cornhusker Bank on 83rd and O.
In every office, there's two types of people. There are those who bring in bagels and those who eat the bagels that someone else brought in. Everybody likes the first person. Be that first person. Weekday mornings at 7:30, you have a chance to win a business box of bagels from Bagels and Joe. All you have to do is shut up, Sipple. 2 questions for you, 2 for Sip. Win, and the bagels are yours. Lose, well, you don't want to lose.
You lost Monday, you lost Wednesday, you're a loser.
Shut up, Sipple. Weekday mornings at 7:30, brought to you by Bagels and Joe.
It's the best time of the year to order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower from Landmark Implement during the early order program. Hay harvest is a race against time. Order a new John Deere self-propelled windrower to harvest your hay quickly and efficiently while promoting quick dry down for quality hay. Now is the time to lock in the best price of the year. Contact your local Landmark location for full details on a new self-propelled windrower and experience the Landmark difference.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Empire Netting and Fence delivers top quality netting and fence solutions. From major sports venues to backyard installs and everything in between, coast to coast. We take on tough jobs with grit, integrity, and a strong commitment to safety. Empire is growing, and we're hiring motivated people ready to grow with us. We build each other up, and we're building something big. Think you've got what it takes? Apply now at empire-fence.com. That's empire-fence.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mainly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and warm, and actually high around 85. Tonight, mainly clear skies, a light breeze, a low around 64. And tomorrow, we'll see mostly sunny skies return. It'll be breezy and warm with an afternoon high near 89. I'm meteorologist Kyle Fletcher from 103.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
Attention all Wings fans. Buffalo Wings and Rings has daily specials that will make you want to stop in on all days of the week. Kids eat free on Mondays, and on Tuesdays, enjoy 40% off boneless or traditional wings at a price that makes the whole family happy. And come back on Wednesdays for $1.39 chicken tenders all day long. Get to Wings and Rings today, 68th and O, or in Williamsburg Village.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Powered by the Teammates Mentoring Program. Here is your host, Pierson-El.
Welcome back in. Final segment, Don't Punt Hour. Pierson-El on the Allo VIP line, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with a local heart. Shout out to those guys as always. We were talking NBA on the last side. We're kind of sizing up. Preseason starts tomorrow, officially 11 a.m. for all those who don't have a job and got time to hang out 11 a.m. on Thursday or work night shifts like me. And then you can't actually go ahead and watch it. But let's talk about the East. We talked about the West. Let's look at the East. Are any of these teams real playoff contenders, or are these guys falling off? I'll just ask you who your favorite is way too early out of the East. And just kind of a reminder, last season, the Cleveland Cavaliers kind of popped onto the scene after really doubling down on what they did the season before. They won the East regular season, 64-18 record. Celtics at 2, 61-21, and then a significant drop-off between the Knicks and Celtics. 10-game difference, 51 wins for the Knicks, 31 losses, and then the Pacers, 50 wins, 32 losses, and then it went Bucks, Pistons, and then you get to the buy-in teams. Who out of the East this year do you think is going to double down or maybe come out of the woodwork and win the East, I should say?
I mean, I want to say New York, but with them firing their coach there, that still pisses me off. But I think they still have. I think they still have. I think they're the most healthiest for one. I mean, some of the injuries that some of these other guys sustained last year and everything like that. I know some people in Cleveland might argue that and everything like that, but they made it through the postseason with everybody for the majority being healthy. I think they probably have the most to be pissed off for. I mean, we'll see if Indy can repeat, but like I said, I mean, they're the most healthy. What Halliburton not being available early on, I mean, we don't know what that team is going to really look like. So just off of kind of unsure from everybody else, I think New York can make a big jump. I think Orlando can make a big jump. Orlando's sneaky good, and I don't think a lot of people have been putting their deposits in for them, but I think Orlando can make some noise as well.
They've been putting it together quietly last season and down the stretch in particular. I mean, if I'm going to take the layup here, Cleveland Cavaliers are coming back full force. They picked up Lonzo Ball in the offseason as well. I think a good, quiet, sneaky pickup. I just like it when you go grab defensive lockdowns. That's why people like Alex Caruso, that's like people like Dort at OKC. That's why that's the only reason why Ben Simmons was still getting minutes, was his defensive prowess, wasn't so much the offense. So give me the Cleveland Cavaliers. They pretty much maintained everybody coming back. They should be pretty healthy. Donovan Mitchell. You still got Evan Mobley, who's been putting together a great career. And then, like I said, I like that addition of Lonzo Ball. Pretty cheap deal, and you're just adding a lot of defense and good three-point shooting. You're not going to be – I mean, the version of UCLA ball is gone. So envision a role for him, and all of a sudden it makes a lot more sense. I like that a lot. Cleveland Cavaliers are going to be good. I like the Magic sneaking into the playoffs. I don't like them dominating per se. I do think the Indiana Pacers are going to be right back to it, though. Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton was one of the best duos in the NBA that nobody talked about until the playoffs happened. But those two put on a clinic all season long. And they were winning games. And you talked about it as well. You were really high on Pascal Siakam, I know. Why? He's so consistent. So that's why I like the Pacers. I just feel like I know exactly what I'm getting with Siakam. And then Halliburton can go off at a moment's notice. But Siakam, more often than not, is going to give you what you want.
With his Achilles and everything like that, I mean, we don't know what it's going to look like, and he's not going to be probably ready until late in the season, at least after the All-Star break. So that's why with the Pacers, somebody's going to have to step up, and I don't necessarily know who's going to step up or how it looks like and everything. I know what Siakam's going to do, but everybody else, I don't really know, what that's going to be. That's why I didn't say Indiana.
Yeah, that's a good point. I kind of forgot that was like Game 7 too in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah,
run. Yeah, that was such a late injury. That is going to take a lot longer than I was thinking. Like a month into it, he should be starting to roll back. But that was the late injury. Yeah, you're right.
No.
Yeah, they're going to struggle for a little bit. I take that back.
I don't think him and Tatum will be available early. Well, Tatum will be a little bit. He'll come back, I think, a little bit before.
I don't like the Celtics at all. I'm not buying stock on them.
You're getting away from what the coaching in Houston built again with Tatum being down. With Tatum being down, I mean, you really gonna have to kind of coach and see, we really gonna have to see what their coach kind of has and what he brings to the table. Because I'm not gonna say it was easy beforehand, but I mean. That was like the John Gruden Super Bowl that he got in Tampa. He got Tony Dungy's Super Bowl with the Buccaneers. So I mean that was the same thing with the Celtics. So we're gonna see how Missoula, really, really does with Tatum down for a little bit and what that team has to offer.
If you're the Celtics, would you rather have Brown or Tatum available?
I think Brown, honestly.
I think so too. I think, like I said, I'm not buying on them. I don't think they'll be as bad as maybe some people are expecting, but I think they will take a significant fall. I'd rather have Brown being healthy. I feel like he's more consistent, but it's going to be a lot tougher of the road this year, at least I think, for the Boston Celtics. And then you're right, Indiana Pacers waiting on Halliburton. What can Pascal Siakam do in the meantime? And then the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're healthy. Rolling into the season, I think they will be really good. So with that being said, that is our quick NBA talk. We'll get to talk more NBA down the road here because the NBA preseason officially starts tomorrow. But that is the Morning Pierson-El on the LOVA line. Appreciate it as always. The Morning Pierson-El. Talk to you again tomorrow. I am Harrison Arns. Don't go anywhere though. Up next, Spare Time, Julian Martin, Kayla Starr.